So tonight you are going to need a wall and either a yoga brick or a thick book, please. So that was all on the screen that you probably saw, but if you just arrived and didn't have time to notice, you might want to gather a thick book or a brick now. And then come to sitting in an easy seat. So I don't know how many of you looked at the email blurb or on Facebook, but this is a class which will be a full body flow, but with particular emphasis on strength and stamina in the upper body. So in fact, this class is the kind of class I would teach in the river room if we were working towards headstand or handstand. Not going to do that online. But if you are confident of your headstand and handstand and don't need somebody there to spot you or to check, it might be something you want to do towards the end of the practice. I'll let you know when. But whether or not you do it, it doesn't matter, because we're just looking to open and strengthen the upper body. And it's quite an empowering feeling, because for most of us women in particular, we might be quite strong in the lower bodies, but a lot of us don't have so much strength in the upper body. So it can just feel really great to build that up a bit. And as always with yoga, whatever is happening physically obviously has its energetic and kind of symbolic counterpart. So whatever that might mean for you in terms of strength in the world, you might want to consider that as you bring an intention into your practice tonight. So if you'd like to close your eyes and come to observing what's present for you right now in your body. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I know from one of you that wine beckons in the evening after a difficult day, so it's quite a challenge to keep away from that until 7:30 at night. I totally get that. So it's amazing that you're here. Or it might be gin, whatever your tipple is. It's amazing to have come to the yoga mat instead right now. Take time to root down through the base of your body. And as you follow your attention up your spine, easing a little bit in the side waist. So without slumping, just relaxing a little bit in the side waist. And then following the spine all the way up through the top of the head. And you might want to bring your attention to the tips of your ears and just bring them up and back ever so slightly, so that the back of your head moves back in space, even just 1 or 2 millimeters. And soften your shoulders away from the ears. And softening in the face. And as you continue to settle into your body, aligning in this way, but also simply observing how you feel, bearing in mind everything I've said about the practice to follow, maybe choosing a particular focus for yourself, for your own practice. What is it you really need? And it might well be, and it's definitely in my case, that when we encounter something strong, that we choose not to throw ourselves at it completely, but rather come back 20-30%. Check your competitive instinct, for example. I'm speaking to myself. I'm beginning to notice the quality of your breath this evening. First of all, the rise and fall of a natural breath, and we're going to lead in a moment into a pranayama practice, which is a very stabilising breathing practice, I believe. But first of all, feeling the flow of air in your nostrils, aware of the movement of the diaphragm, the abdomen, the rib cage. And observing as you breathe naturally, that every time you breathe in, there's a little moment, there's a pause before you breathe out again. And then once you've breathed out, there's a pause before you breathe in again. So familiarizing yourself with what will become a 4-part breath. And there can be a lovely stillness in these spaces at the point at which the breath turns around. And we're going to introduce a count. So we're going to come to a square breath, it's called, where each side of the square, so each part of the breath, the inhale, the pause, the exhale and the pause, are all of an equal length. So let's start with 2 to keep it easy. And noticing that you breathe in for 2, you pause for your count of 2, you breathe out for 2, and you pause for 2. And in your mind you can visualize this square. So every part of the 4-part breath is exactly the same length. And I'm going to leave you alone in silence to explore that square breathing, with the option of increasing the count, but never to a point where you feel like you're straining or you're building up anxiety as you hold the breath. So build it up slowly, and we'll stay like this for probably about 3 minutes. And when you do hold the breath, see if you can really soften at the back of the throat and behind your eyes. Stay very, very present, very, very close to your count and to the quality of each side of your square. What do you notice? Keep coming back to the breath and the count. Keep softening in the face so you don't strain. And then next time you breathe out, letting go of all of that focus, letting go of the square, letting go of the count, and noticing what it feels like to breathe naturally now. Notice how you feel in your body, physical and energetic, and in your mind. And then opening your eyes, and lifting your arms out in front of you, making fists, and beginning to circle into your wrists. So the breathing practice we just did, I don't know how you felt, but it's a practice I quite often do to really ground. It's also fantastic, obviously, for developing lung capacity, but right now we're looking for a sense of stability in this practice. And maybe you can bring that quality all the way through whatever we're doing. So for now, just feeling into the wrist joints, because there'll be some poses tonight that will challenge people's wrists. We need to give the wrists a bit of love. Please take those circles in the opposite direction. Breathing. And then allowing your hands to flop out in front of you. And as you breathe in, push the heels of your hands away as you pull your fingers towards you. And as you breathe out, curl your fingers right under. And do you feel a bit of a stretch on the front of the wrist? We'll do that 4 more times. Breathing in, breathing out, and breathing in. I don't often do wrist work because I don't have weak wrists, so I forget that some people do. So I'm sorry about that. Let's take 2 more. Feels good anyway, even if you don't feel you need it. And then just releasing your hands down for a moment. And then a lovely thing that Granville Cousins, a teacher that Emmeline brought to the river room a few years ago, a lovely thing that he did was the following. So you place your forearms together, you interlace your hands very loosely, and then you simply rub your forearms together. So you don't want to be doing this with your elbows apart, you want to be rubbing the forearms together so that your hands quite rapidly are flipped from side to side. Breathing. This is an amazing, what should I like? It's great for the circulation in the wrist joints. Great for nourishing the wrist joints. And then let go. Let go. You could do it for longer if you wanted, but just taking a moment to feel the hands, the forearms. You could do a little bit of pumping if you wanted. Also great for the circulation. Lovely. Okay, and then hands down. And now breathing in, hitch your shoulders right up to your ears. Really hitch, 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 hitch. And on an exhalation, you can grunt, you can make as much noise as you like as you shrug the shoulders down. And then breathe in, hitch everything up. Hitch, hitch, hitch. God, that feels so good to me. Let's do 3 more. Breathing in. You don't have to grunt like me. You just go ha. Maybe it's a bit more polite. 1 more time, breathe in. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say, those of you who turned up last night and found I wasn't here, I'm very sorry about that. I hope you did do a YouTube class, or I hope you just had a great evening. I'm fine. Thank you for those of you who asked. Absolutely fine. Okay, and then just beginning to roll the shoulders up to the ears and back again. So you can bring your arms with you to roll them forwards, up to the ears and back again. So we'll take 2 more in this, 3 more in this direction, then we'll take these rolls in the other direction. So although in this practice we're working on strength and stamina in the upper body, that goes hand in hand with a need to be really open. So we're going to be playing all the time with a relationship between an openness and a stability. One more time in this direction. Excuse me, I've got really itchy eyes. And then we could take that the other way. So elbows and shoulder blades behind, shoulders up to the ears, and then roll forwards. Really feeling the shoulders and the arms, all the bones involved, the muscles. Great if you've been at a computer a lot of today, which I seem to have some bizarre reason. Can't get away from it. And then taking a moment, maybe eyes closed, to simply feel the body. Feel the body, maybe feel a tingling and a warmth around the upper back, the arms, all the way down to the fingertips. So doing quite a lot of warm up in this way today, but we will come into stronger flow soon. I'd like you to come to standing at the wall. So any of you who did the yin practice last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, will have done some of this with me. This is great practice for opening into the shoulders. So I'm going to come and stand against the wall and take your right arm up. So it's at about, I can't remember how the clock goes, 1, 2, let's say 2 o'clock. And then turn your hand so the little finger edge of the hand is pressing into the wall. There's quite a lot of engagement there. And then begin to walk around and away from the wall. And some of you might be very close to the wall. And some of you might find that you can turn around quite far. And then keep pressing the little finger edge of your hand into the wall and breathe into whatever stretch you feel. And try and soften the front ribs in so you're not sticking your chest out. Tailbone is tucked under, so all of the attention really goes into the shoulder and the upper arm. Breathe here, a few more breaths. Should feel quite nice, quite a surprise. One more breath in, and then breathing out, come around to face the wall. And take your arm down now at 2, 3 o'clock. And again, turn to press the little finger edge against the wall and begin to walk away. So your body's as close to the wall as it can be. And you might find you can turn a little bit further now. And take a few breaths. Remember, softening the front ribs. Stable through the feet. And feel this lovely stretch across the front of the shoulder and right into the arm. And breathe. So I'll just say hi to Sandra, and it'd be lovely to know if you are Sandy Kay or another Sandra who usually comes on either a Monday or a Wednesday night to the river room. It's just lovely for me to know who's who. I think everyone else on the list, I do know who you are. One more breath in, and then breathe out, turning towards the wall. Take your arm down to between 4 and 5 o'clock and do exactly the same thing. And then move around. We're really taking a lot of care to prepare the body today. And breathe here. Notice how every angle of your arm will produce a different set of sensations if you notice them. Breathe. One more breath in. And then breathe out, turn around to face the wall and release the arm and just feel the difference between the two sides of the body. And then we bring the left arm up to between 10 and 11 o'clock and press the little finger edge into the wall. And then begin to walk round to the right. As far as feels right for you. Soft in the front ribs. Stable through the feet and breathe. Try not to tense up in your face. So you'll notice that the Wednesday night classes in particular, very, very different from week to week. I'm really using the 90 minutes as a way to each week explore something quite particular. Last week it was Mahamudra and the bandhas. Interesting feedback, not everybody liked that. One more breath in. And then breathe out, come around to face the wall. And take your arm down to 9 o'clock. And then come around. Once you're pressing in the little finger edge of the hand into the wall. And breathe. Stable through the feet. Feel it. One more breath in. And then turn around to face, and we take the last stretch, which is down to between 7 and 8 o'clock. You bring yourself into that stretch. And noticing that sometimes it feels, this feels really awkward suddenly for me. It's like it's really nabbed something in my arm. Notice how it is for you. Please don't stop breathing. Quite a technical class, at least for the first half hour or so. One more breath in. And then breathe out. You can just release the arm and come away from the wall. Notice how you feel. We're going to need a brick for the next part of the class, or your thick book. You might want to look at me before you lie down, because what we're going to do is, in a moment, is very important for the alignment of the arms. And we're going to be pressing, we're not doing it straight away, but just so that you can see and get everything ready. You're going to be pressing your book lengthways in between your forearms. So basically your arms should be about shoulder distance apart, so you can really press the forearms together. Once you've done that, then I'll explain the rest. But first of all, so you've got your stuff ready, just take a moment to feel your back on the mat. Notice, particularly after those stretches against the wall, how you feel in the upper body. And you're coming to a lovely neutral spine. And notice your breath, soles of your feet on the floor. And then taking your brick or your book in between your forearms. It's a little bit of a technical exercise, but it'll help for later, especially if in your life you're really interested in handstands. As you breathe in, I want you to, at the same time as pressing your forearms in the brick, I want you to lift your arms out of the shoulder sockets. So your shoulders will also lift away from the floor maybe, and then breathe out, settle the arm bones and the shoulders back down again. So it's like you're becoming, and take a few breaths like this. So you're feeling the relationship between the upper arm bone and the shoulder, really rooting down as you press on the brick. It's reasonably hard work, especially the pressing on the brick is. Just take one more, it's just a little technical detail. And now with your shoulders really stabilising into the floor, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take your arms behind you, trying not to move your shoulders. So it's all about the arm bones. And as you breathe in, lift up, pressing on the brick. And as you breathe out, come down behind you. It's amazing how much heat this creates. Do that 3 more times, please. Try not to tense up in the jaw and the face. And taking one more, making this your last one, inhaling to the top and exhaling behind you. And then just releasing the brick there, lifting your arms up to vertical without the brick, and exhale, arms down by your sides, and take a moment to feel the body. And we're going to do that movement of the arms without the brick now. So taking your arms to vertical, and first of all lift them out of the shoulders and then root them back down again. So you feel your shoulder blades wrapping around the spine a bit here. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take your arms behind you, trying not to move your shoulders too much. We'll just take two more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Really flattening your abdomen back towards the spine as well. One more. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then you can just relax your arms on the floor for a moment. Wonderful. And then bring your knees into your chest and have a little bit of a roll around here. A little bit of a roll around. In one direction and then in the opposite direction. And then taking your fingers behind your knees, you're going to take a few rolls, head to tail, nice little roll on all the muscles up and down the spine, until you roll up to like a little mini boat. So your feet are off the floor, and you're just rolling the shoulders up and back to find that lovely space across the chest and the collarbones, and you're smiling. And then as you breathe in, lift your arms and your legs. And as you breathe out, take your knees to the left, your arms to the right. It's a little floppy, twisty boat. Breathe in, come to the top. And breathe out, twist your little floppy boat. Breathe into the top. And twist your boat. Let's take a few. Don't stop breathing and make it quite delicate. Until at some point you come to a full boat, and use your abdomen. Don't hang out in the lower back. You need to engage the abdomen to protect the lower back. 3 more breaths. Obviously, if you need to, come to a half boat. 1 more breath in and a breath out. And then take your hands behind your head as you take your feet forwards. Just for a moment, bring your head to your knees. Just soothing out the back. Take a couple of breaths into the back. And then from here, settling down onto your back again. And this time you need your brick. Actually, before we do anything with the brick, you might need to bring your knees into your chest after those boats. Just soothe out the lower back a little bit. But then we're going to press the brick or the book that width, so it's the narrowest width in between the thighs. And for this, you could take your hands behind your head. So a little bit like with the arms and the brick, you're now pressing the inner thighs into the brick. You're really gripping, trying not to allow that grip to move up that upper body. And take a breath in. And as you breathe out, only lower down about 30 degrees, drawing your abdomen towards the spine. And then breathe in, lift again. And breathe out slowly, really draw the sideways, the navel, maybe come down a little bit further. Breathe in, come to the top. So the way I was taught was not to go all the way down, because it's too much strain for the lower back. So we just go down about halfway. We take 3 more. And if your abdomen is burning, that's good. We're doing some core strength. Remember the stability. But bend your knees if you've got any lower back pain at all. Make this your last one. And then from here, taking the brick away, you don't need it anymore, I don't think. And just bring your knees in towards you. Have a little roll around. Take a breath in, and on the breath out, take your head towards your knees. Maybe you can hold onto your feet. And take 2 or 3 breaths, really drawing in a lovely tight little ball. Wonderful. One more breath in, and then gently release the head and the shoulders down and drop your feet to the floor, hip distance apart. And we'll do a little bit of soothing work for the back before we come over to all fours. So beginning to breathe in and just tilt the pelvis forwards to peel your lower back off the mat, but not your sacrum, not your hips. And then breathing out, tilt the pelvis back and really flatten the lower back against the mat. You've got this lovely tilting of the pelvis forwards and then back. And notice that as you tilt forwards, you're opening the lower abdomen. And as you tilt back, you're drawing your abdominal muscles down towards the floor. And this might be enough for you, or you might like to convert what we're doing into a bridge. On the exhalation, keep lifting. And on the inhalation, come down and rock forwards again. And then rock the pelvis back, flatten the back, press into the feet and lift up. And take a few. This is just really lovely for the spine. Very delicate, rock forwards. Tilt back and flatten, and from there lift up. Feeling everything. Making this your last one so that when you come up, you stay up, and maybe you interlace your hands underneath you, maybe you hold onto your ankles, and taking 5 breaths where you really press into your feet to lift the hips, to lift the sideways, but take your chin back. There's space in the throat, and breathe the front of the body open. Keep breathing until you take one more breath in, and then release the hands, roll the shoulders out again so you can come down bone by bone. Taking a moment to feel the body now. In fact, slide the feet away. And take a moment to feel the whole body and the support of the floor beneath you. If you need to recall your intention for the practice as a focus, if you need to notice the quality of your breath, go ahead. And then from here, bringing your knees in again and either rolling over to one side or rolling head to tail a few times until you come to an all fours position. Hello, that took a while, didn't it, to get here? And the knees together or knees apart, sit back towards your heels. Slide your hands away or your hands under your forehead. And soften into the pose of the child. So all the work we've done, let it go now. So your shoulders and your arms, your inner thighs, melt. And you're very, very soft through the forehead. As you breathe and let go. Feeling everything. Feeling everything. Let go of the responsibility. Let go of the weight of your day. Let go of all the madness out there right now. And come to a sense of being very, very present, very embodied, in touch with sensation and the breath. And then from here, I'm going to come to an interesting movement called striking cobra. So I want you to lift your head and move your arms a little bit further out in front of you. You're going to need to slide. So as you breathe in, come up to all fours, slide your hands, but then you strike into a little cobra. And then you breathe in and come back again. And you breathe out, you roll forwards and strike in your cobra. Notice my feet are up. You don't need to worry about that. And take 3 more of this striking cobra. Chest, chin. And you push yourself back again if you can. And this will be where you start noticing maybe this is hard. Can you keep going 2 or 3 more? Making this your last one. And now as you come to child, sliding your arms down beside you with your palms facing up. You might like to rest on the side of your head for a few breaths. As you soften and you breathe. Beautiful. And then sliding your hands out in front of you, curling your toes under and coming to a downward dog. And this feels nice after everything we've been doing. So soften the hands for now. We'll come into more discipline. I want you to really soften the hands. You don't even need to spread your fingers. Let's concentrate a little bit on the lower body. So bend your knees, lift your heels, and then begin to tilt the pelvis forwards and shoot your bottom up towards the ceiling. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Heels are lifted, and then begin to lower one heel at a time as you walk out your dog, but soften the hands. Feeling what you need in your downward dog. And breathing. And then beginning to spread your fingers and really press into the base of the thumb and forefinger. So you feel the engagement coming up the arms. Maybe even rolling the shoulders out a little bit. Upper arms roll under a little bit. Lovely. And then lifting both heels, drawing the front body into the back body and pulling yourself forwards to a plank. Inhale. And exhale here. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, come back the way you came. And we'll keep going. Lift the heels and pull yourself forwards. Exhale here. Take an inhale. And exhale, pull yourself back. We'll do one more. You're really drawing the front body into the back body, scooping yourself forwards. Inhale. Exhale. Take another inhale. Another exhale. Another inhale, another exhale, and then come down onto your forearms, forearm plank. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And you're really pulling the side waist up and pushing out through your heels. Can you take 5 breaths? Push up between your shoulder blades. So for many people, forearm plank is where you're going to stay. You might not like full plank or side plank. You can do everything on the forearms. One more breath in. Breathe out, drop your knees. Release your toes and come to rest with both hands underneath the forehead. Breathe into the front body. When I tuck myself in a bit. And then taking both of your hands so that they're Lying palms face up, one inside the other on your lower back. And your legs are together. And we're going to take a little back bend, but also working into the upper body. So as you inhale, bring the left back of your hand to your forehead as you lift the chest. And then exhale, come back. And as you inhale, bring your right back of your hand to your forehead. And exhale, come back. And we'll take a few more. You're really activating the back muscles as you inhale. So it's a little bit like ship ahoy or woe is me. You keep changing hands on the inhale as you come up. Hands together on the lower back as you exhale and come down. So this is mostly about activating the back muscles. Really feel the shoulder blades. And then come to resting. Both arms by your sides. Turning your head the other way from the time before. And softening here. Softening here. And then when you're ready, if you'd like to come up to all fours. And come down on your elbows and interlace your hands. So your forearms are pressing into the mat and your elbows are about underneath your shoulders. So we're going to do a little bit of a striking movement here. So if you just watch, I'm drawing back, first of all, creating length in the side body. Inhale. And on the exhale, I'm striking forwards, trying to touch the floor with my chin. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, come forwards. Really press the forearms down. And keep moving like this for a few more breaths. So you find that lovely stretch and then the strength and the control as you come forwards. Pushing back. Can you take 3 more? Slowly. If you're tired, you rest in child's pose. Remember what I said about your own stamina. And then making the one you're on, your last one, so that you come and slide back into pose of the child. Trying to soften the back of your neck, your shoulders and your arms. And breathe. And then when you're ready, coming forwards, curl your toes under. And come to 5 breaths in a downward dog. Where you really explore the strength in your arms. Pressing into the base of your thumb and forefinger. And opening out the backs of your legs and really increase length from your armpit to your hip creases. Beautiful. And then looking in between your hands and walk or jump your feet forward so you end up in a standing forward fold. And you can allow the whole of the upper body to pour out of the pelvis. Your knees can be soft. And take a moment here just to allow the shoulders, the arms, everything to drop. And breathe. And breathe. And then either with your fingertips to the floor or to your shins, take an inhale and really roll the shoulders up and back. And come to a straight spine and open heart. And exhale here. Take another breath in. Legs are strong. And then breathe out, folding in. And then breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, fold. And last time, breathe in, lengthen. And this time, breathe out, take your hands to your hips. And take another breath in. And on the breath out, straight back, strong legs, come all the way up. And feel the body standing. Beautiful. With your feet parallel and lovely and firm, just open the palms out to face forwards, and we're just going to take 5 breaths as we breathe in and lift the arms. So alert now to sensations in the shoulders and the arms, and breathe out, come down. I hope you can see me because my head's cut off and Will isn't around to help. So I really apologise if you can only see me from the neck down. Still really focusing here on the fullness of the breath and the mindfulness of the movement. Let's take one more, breathing in. And this time on the breath out, come all the way down. Fingers to the floor or to your shins. And breathe in, come to flat back. And breathe out, fold. And breathe in, come all the way up again. And breathe out, arms down. Take 2 more half sun salutations. Breathing in, lift up. Finding a bit more of a flow now. Change of style. Breathe out, come down. Breathe into flat back. And breathe out, fold. And breathe in, come all the way up. Feel it. And breathe out, arms down. We'll take 1 more. Breathing in. And breathe out, fold. And breathe into flat back. And breathe out, fold. These are half sun salutations. And breathe in, come all the way up with that control. And breathe out, hands to your heart and come to the front of your mat if you're not there already. And breathing and lifting up. Maybe a little back bend. And breathe out, come all the way down. And breathe into a flat back. And step or jump back to plank on an exhale. Take a breath in. And either drop your knees now or lower yourself all the way down. Release your toes. And rolling your shoulders up to your ears. Breathe in and peel your chest up. Breathe out here, wherever you are. And take another breath in and lift your heart to your throat. Head comes back lower. And then breathe out, come down. Breathing into all fours. And out to a downward dog for 5 breaths. And I'm going to rest in child's pose. Breathe into your dog. Find space. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, dropping your knees and meeting me in an all fours position. So we're coming to a little bit of stamina now, a little bit of building more strength. So please listen to your body. You're going to come down on your forearms. And your forearms are parallel, elbows underneath your shoulders. And you're going to stretch your legs out, toes curled under, to come into forearm plank. Can you become very steady and mindful of the breath as you feel the strength and the integrity of this pose? You could be looking beyond your fingers. Very important here, the strength of the inner thighs, the sideways, the navel lifting up towards the spine, as well as pushing up between your shoulder blades. Incidentally, you could do this against a wall, pushing your heels against a skirting board is good. Take a breath in, and then breathe out, drop your knees. And take a moment to breathe here. And we're going to come to a side forearm plank. So, tell you what I'd like you to do. Let's take it easy. Let's come down on the side. So I'm lying on my right hip, and my forearm is coming out in front of me rather than facing ahead. Then you can stretch your legs out and pressing into the forearm, lift your hips away from the mat. Now, if this is already feeling too strong, bring the left foot out in front of you. And then lift up the left arm and keep pushing. So we're wanting to lift the left side of the body up and pull the right side of the body away from the floor. Are you breathing? Are you present? One more breath in. And then roll over to forearm plank. And you have a choice. You could either drop your knees and come in the easy way, or simply roll over with the left arm coming out at a right angle into your forearm plank on the left. Maybe your right foot is out in front of you. And you're lifting, you're arcing the body away from the mat, maybe looking up at your right fingertips and breathing. So we're building strength, we're building stamina. If you're tired tonight, then honor that. Listen to your body. One more breath in, and then bring both forearms down so they're parallel, stabilizing in a forearm plank. Take a breath in, then drop your knees and roll down onto your belly. Hands underneath the forehead. Allowing your heels to drop out to the side. And breathe. Feel the after effect. Feel the body. And for the next round, you have a choice of repeating exactly that. Or if you know that your shoulder is up to it and your wrists are up to it, we'll come into full Vashisthasana, which is full side plank. So if you'd like to, join me on all fours. Choose if you're going to come down onto your forearms or if you're going to have your arms straight. Remember all that work we did with the alignments, that strength. Imagine you're pulling the brick in between your forearms. And then come into a plank. First of all, come to the stability. And then maybe you take all the strength in your right arm. If you need to, take the left foot in front or even halfway up the mat. And you can dip the hips down and then pull them away again. And again, we're looking to arch the body away. Can you see? In fact, it's not so good, but you really want an axis of the wrist right underneath the shoulder here. So you're really pulling the shoulder blade right, wrapping it around towards the spine. And breathe here. Take a breath in. And then come to plank and come straight over to the other side. And again, you could be pushing against a wall with your heels if that helps. It adds stability. Really wrap the left shoulder blade around towards the spine and feel very, very secure in that shoulder joint. That's so important. One more breath in. Breathe out, come to plank. Take a breath in your plank. Breathe out, lower all the way down. Breathe and peel the chest up, roll the shoulders back. Now you have a choice of child's pose or downward dog for 5 breaths. Breathe and feel the body wherever you are. And we're going to take our third and final version. So you know you have the forearm plank, you have the full side plank like we did, or we're going to add another variety in case you fancy, just for a bit of fun. So wherever you are, coming to all fours, either forearms or coming straight into a plank. And we're going to come over to the right, and you might come into your plank, or you might bring your left foot up and press it into the thigh. For Vashisthasana Vrksasana, tree side plank, and keep pushing away. And it's so lovely. If you press the heel into the inner thigh, it kind of gives you leverage to come further away. And now find space, maybe your arm over your ear. And breathe. It's so beautiful, so strong, so spacious. One more breath in. Bring yourself to plank. Come to the other side and take the variety that works for you, please, the variation.
And breathe and really feel the body expand and strengthen, whichever version you're in. So powerful. One more breath in. Find your way back to plank very elegantly with control. Take a breath in here and then choose your way down to the mat. Breathe and peel your chest up, roll the shoulders back. Breathe out, stay here. Take a breath in, and then from here, push yourself to all fours and a downward dog or child's pose. We're going to take 5 breaths, but then transition to standing. So listen to what you need right now. Notice the quality of your breath. And then when you're ready, looking in between your hands and walk, step or jump your feet forwards. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. And then pressing into your feet, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down to your heart. And take a moment to feel the body now. Really take a moment to feel. Let's not be in a hurry. Maybe take your hand to your chest, your other hand to your belly. And feel the stability. Notice if your breath has become a bit erratic. It could do with a practice like this. And incidentally, something I didn't explain is that when we work with strengthening the arms like that, working very much with the lung and heart meridians in terms of an understanding from traditional Chinese medicine of the body. So we're working to really nourish these organs and their qualities through working with those meridians. And these qualities are all about receptivity, which is a lovely thing to be working on, especially at the moment. We need to be in constant check of our relationships, I think. Not easy time. Okay, let's come into a little flow with a lightness, but with having already gained all of that strength and that warmth in the body. Breathing in, lift up. And breathe out, fold. Breathe in, come to a flat back. And breathe out, step your left foot back. Keep the foot down. And on a breath in, come all the way up to warrior one. Breathe out, arms behind your back, interlacing. And on a breath in, roll your shoulders back to lift your chest. Take your arms down behind you. Breathe out here. Take another breath in. And then leading with the heart, plunge down into humble warrior. And as you breathe in, lift up again. Maybe pressing the heels of your hands together. And breathe out, plunge back down again. And then one more time with control, breathe in. And breathe out, come down. Take a breath in here. And then as you breathe out, lower your hands to your back and place them either on the shin or around the front foot. And on a breath in, lift your heart. And then breathe out, straighten that front leg, pyramid pose. You might want to step the front back foot in a little bit. Make sure you're not walking a tightrope. And then breathe in, lengthen, really open the heart, shoulders away from the ears. And breathe out, fold. One more time, lifting up, breathe in. And breathe out, fold. Take a moment here to really surrender the upper body. Soften the arms, the shoulders, the upper back. And then breathing in, lift your heart and bend into that front knee and step the back foot a little bit further behind you. Make sure your front foot is now in line, heel to instep of the back foot. And lift up the left arm. And exhale, arm over the ear for side angle pose. And really find length And breathe here, looking right under the left armpit and spinning the chest. Breathe. So although there's strength, it's really about being open and energized. One more breath in. Then plant the foot down, lift the back heel. Slide back to plank. Take a breath in plank. On the breath out, come down to the mat your way. Breathe in, peel up. And breathe out, come back to downward dog. Doing beautifully. And looking in between your hands, walk, step or jump your feet forwards. Come straight to a flat back inhale. Exhale, fold. And breathe in, come all the way up. And come all the way down again, breathe out. Breathe in, flat back. And then take your right foot back. Breathe out here, make sure you're not walking a tightrope. And breathe into your warrior one. And arms behind you, breathe out. Take a breath in and really roll the shoulders back, pull the arms back, shoulder blades are together. And leading with the heart, breathe out, plunge down, humble warrior. And breathe in, come back up again. And breathe out, plunge, really pressing the heels of your hands together. And breathe in last time, come back up again. And breathe out, plunge. Take a breath in. And then release your hands to your lower back and around the front foot. And then make sure you walk your back foot in a little bit. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Take a breath in, lovely length. And breathe out, fold. Pulling the left hip back. And breathe in, lift your heart. You can micro bend the front knee, don't overlock it out. And breathe out, fold. And then last time, breathe in, lift. And breathe out, fold. And coming to take a couple of breaths where you really soften into this pose. Keep pulling the left hip back. Distributing your weight equally between both feet. So it's lovely for the left leg, this. And on the next breath in, bend into the front knee as you lift your heart. And rearrange your feet now. So the front heel is in line with the back step, instep of the back foot, and you've taken the back foot out a little bit. And then breathe in, lift up the right arm. And breathe out, arm over the ear. And keep spinning. My belly is definitely growing. Keep spinning here. Maybe bring the arm over your ear or maybe not. Keep pressing through that back foot and breathe. One more breath in. And then look down, take your hand down, lift the back heel, inhale. Exhale to plank. Inhale here. Choose your way down to the mat. Inhale, peel the chest up, roll the shoulders back. And from here, you could come to downward dog, or you could come straight to a child's pose. Wide kneed. Hands underneath the forehead. If you're in downward dog, take a few breaths, but we'll all join each other here in a wide knee child pose to soften and to rest for 5 deep breaths. Notice where you're at. Like I said, it's a reasonably technical class in parts, but then we come into a bit of flow. It's fairly consistently hard, I think, disciplining class. Not for the faint-hearted. Notice how you're feeling. Soften in the face and the forehead, back of the ribs. And then when you're ready, come to sit on your heels. To take stock.
We're going to come to a pose that some people love and some people love less. It's Dolphin pose, which is absolutely excellent prep for headstand if that is your thing, or you want it to be your thing. And we're really building on everything we've done. So what I'd like you to do is to line everything up properly. Is take your thumb and forefinger inside the opposite elbow. So can you see that this creates a perfect line of access of the arm bone from the shoulder. And then place your elbows down on the floor. So your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders, and then interlace your hands. So with Dolphin, the idea is that you press as much as you can, bearing in mind everything we've been doing. Imagine you're pulling a brick between your upper arms, and you're pressing the forearms as hard as you can into the mat. And at the same time, you're relaxing the ears, you're relaxing the shoulders away from the ears and finding length in the torso. So let's have a go. You're going to curl your toes under, so it's like a downward dog, but on forearms. And then lift yourself up. So you need to work out how close you can walk your feet in whilst lifting your bottom right up, and your heels can be off the floor for a moment, or you can press them down. And we're going to do a little bit what we did when we were doing that striking pose. So we're going to rock forwards and pull back. Rock forwards and pull back. And you could do that 3 more times. I'm coming down. So you're really pushing whilst you're pulling the shoulders away from the ears, and you're rocking the weight forwards and then back again. And then when you've taken your last one, come back, drop the knees, and come into a pose of the child with your arms around the side of your palms facing up, and really melt in the shoulders now and the upper back, and breathe into the body. And when we come back for a second go, we're only going to do 1 more go. You could either do exactly what we've just done, and it can leave you feeling pretty amazing in the upper back, I find. Or you could come into a stable dolphin and even lift a leg. So I'm not sure I'm up for that tonight, but let's see how we get on. So come to that same alignment. Press the elbows, the forearms down, and come into your dolphin. Walking your feet as far forward as you want, and really pressing, lifting your hips away from your armpits, and either just breathing here, or maybe lifting 1 leg at a time. You can even rock the weight forwards here as you lift, or not. If you lift a leg, lift it from the navel. Maybe take 3 breaths on one side and then 3 breaths on the other. Wonderful. Taking 1 more full breath in wherever you are, and then coming down again to rest in child's pose. And letting everything go now. Really softening the whole of the face, the palms of your hands. If you've been feeling tight in your hands and wrists, you could open and clench the hands a little bit. Maybe circling into the wrists a little bit. Take a few breaths. We've come to the end of all the hard work. Just going to unwind a little bit. So you would like to push your hands forward so that you're lying completely on your belly. And we'll come to my favourite cheeky little shoulder stretch we do sometimes. So taking your arms out in a T-shaped, palms facing down. Just take a moment to soften here. We don't need to hurry, we've got lots of time. And then you're going to slide your right fingertips in towards you so that the elbow is pointing up, about 90-degree angle. And then roll onto the left side of your body. Can you make sure that your left arm is coming out
I'll do it like this so you can see me. So imagine this arm is my left arm. It's coming straight out from the shoulder. It's not up, it's not down, it's straight out. So as you roll over onto the left side of your body, you begin to get a stretch in the front of the shoulder. You lift up your right leg and place the foot behind you. And everybody's different. You might find you can roll almost all the way over onto your back, or you might find that you're really limited in the range of movement here. The idea is for this to be a delicious stretch, so please don't overdo it. And breathe and soften. Breathe and soften. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, roll over onto your belly. Take both arms down by your sides as you feel the difference between the two sides. And then we'll come to take that on the other side. So what are you doing? Yeah, you're drawing your left hand in towards you, elbow pointing up. And you're rolling onto the right side of your body. Make sure the right arm is straight out of the shoulder. You come as far as works for you, and then lift up the left leg, plant the foot behind you. And come to as much or as little, with quite a delicious stretch on the front of that right shoulder as you can. So good. So good. Begin to slow the breath down. Knowing that you've worked really hard in this practice, it's been quite a workout in many ways. It's time to let go. One more breath in. And then roll back onto your belly. Just allow your arms down by your sides, palms facing up, and soften into the whole body. And breathe. And breathe. And then when you're ready, so you're on your belly, so just pulling your forearms towards your knees and sitting back towards your heels for a moment in rabbit pose. So if you just find as much length in the back of your neck as possible, that would be lovely. And feel what's going on in your upper back now as you come into this very simple, restful pose, which also really helps thoracic breathing. So breathing into the sides of the chest, the back of the ribs. Take a few breaths. And soften behind the eyes. Soften the back of the head. The cheekbones, the mouth. Feeling everything. And from rabbit, if you'd like to just sit up straight and take a moment, palms down, to feel the body again. Just notice what's going on for you. We're going to end our physical practice with a very, very simple twist. If you'd like to just roll down onto the right hip and allow your feet out to the left. So my left ankle is resting in the instep of my right foot. Yeah, I'm going to take a very delicate twist. It's so gentle after all the strength here. So take your left hand to your right knee, and you can breathe in and lift your right arm up. And then place it behind you as you twist to the right, but then you lean back. Lean into that right hand. Lean back a bit. So nothing complex, nothing strong. And take a couple of breaths here, really softening as much as you can into the hips. Coming as far as the twist works for you, but without really trying. You've done enough trying. Very soft. Feeling your way. It's maybe even moving around a bit and softening. And then coming back to the front and simply changing the feet to the other side so that your right ankle is resting in your left instep. Take your right hand to your left knee and breathe in, lift up the left arm. And then take a little twist to the left, and you're really dropping down into the hips. Maybe you take your head back. You just feel your way. Notice any resistance in the pelvis and drop into the hips. Open across the chest and the collarbones. Such a simple, delicate twist. It's called half sage twist. See if you can soften in all those parts of the body where strangely you might be tightening. I can feel my lower body tightening. Couple more breaths here. Beautiful. And then very gently come back to the center. And come to an easy seat of your choice, because we're going to end today with some more breathing practice. Hope you're happy, Karen, in Portugal. We're doing a little bit more breath work. I listened to you actually, and I've done a lot in most classes this week, and I do love it. And we've got time. We're going to take a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. This is just a lovely way to soothe and to balance both sides of the brain. So come to, first of all, simply back where you started in your easy seat, eyes closed, and notice everything that's present for you right now. Maybe recall your intention, feel the body, notice the quality of the breath. And soften a little in the body. Let go of all the hard work. Soften in the face. And take your right hand up towards the face, taking the tip of the forefinger and middle finger into the space in between the eyebrows. And take the elbow up and away so you have space here for the rib cage and the lungs. And you're going to use your right thumb to open and close the right nostril, and the little and ring finger to open and close the left. So closing the right nostril to begin with, and take a lovely breath in through the left nostril. Close the left nostril and breathe out fluid and steady stream out of the right nostril. And then breathe in steady through the right nostril. Close the right nostril, breathe out steady through the left. And keep going so that you change over at the top of the inhalation. Really looking for a very delicate but steady breath. Very soft in the face. And next time you breathe out through the left nostril, releasing your hand and just taking a moment. We're going to take a variation on this practice, but taking a moment to notice how you feel.
So if you already found that really complicated, you might want to simply continue with that practice. What I'm going to invite you to do, if you want to, is to explore holding both nostrils as you retain the breath in. And maybe if we have time, also when we retain the breath out. So we come back to the fingertips in between the eyebrows. And you're going to use the same thumb and fingers to open and close the nostrils. So close the right nostril with the thumb and breathe in through the left. But this time at the top of the inhalation, close both nostrils and hold for a moment, not straining, before you then breathe out through the right nostril. And then breathe in through the right nostril. Hold both without straining. Breathe out through the left. And take a few more rounds like this. So you hold both nostrils at the top of the inhalation. Without feeling you're going to burst. And then next time you breathe out through the left nostril, releasing your hand and noticing how you feel. And we're going to have a go at holding the breath at the bottom of the exhalation. So preparing again, all coming to the simpler version of alternate nostril breathing without the retention. Closing the right nostril, breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the right. And at the end of that exhalation, close both nostrils and hold. And then breathe in through the right. Out through the left. At the bottom of that exhalation, hold both nostrils. Hold the breath just for a count of 2, more or less. And then breathe in through the left. Out through the right. Hold. In through the right. Out through the left. Hold. And then breathe in through both and release your hand. Taking a moment to feel now, and we're going to take the final variation where we add a ratio of a count. And if it's all too much, don't worry. I see a couple of you are turning up for Will's Yoga Nidra. That will be in 5 minutes. So preparing your hand, take a breath in through the left nostril. In fact, please start again. Release the right nostril. So the ratio is going to be 1 to 2 to 1. So let's breathe in through the left nostril for 1. Hold both nostrils for 2. Breathe out through the right nostril for 2. Hold both nostrils for 1. Breathe in through the right nostril for 1. Hold for 2. Out through the left nostril for 2. Hold for 1. And continue with this ratio, but your count might turn into 2, 4, 4, 2. Just a few rounds, we haven't got long. So you're exploring what it feels like to hold the breath in and to hold the breath out. The gradual build up, we could do it over a lot longer time. And then next time you breathe out through the left nostril, releasing your hand, let it all go now. And simply come to the deliciousness of feeling the simplicity of air flowing through your nostrils now. Noticing how you feel. And you can come down and prepare for your Shavasana, knowing that Will in about 5 minutes is going to take over for half-hour Yoga Nidra, which after the practice we've just done, I would really, really recommend. Otherwise, coming to lie down, turn the volume off, maybe leave the meeting, and allow yourself at least 10 minutes to rest fully and to feel everything. And I'm going to go and lie down for my Yoga Nidra. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And I hope you sleep really well. I really hope some of you'll stay for the Yoga Nidra. Lots of love.